that's entertainment. You know, when you're a great fighter, a great entertainer in general, you want the person to say, when do I see that person again? When's he gonna play again? When's he gonna fight again? You know, you gotta be able, if you can't put in seats, you're gonna get fired. You know.
40 fight, and I have Crawford winning this fight. Crawford's gonna win this fight doing something that nobody's done to Canelo.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. And it didn't take me going to camp to know this.
Okay.
Weight gain. So Israel Majamov says that if Terence Crawford bulks up, that's going to be the biggest mistake he can possibly make. And that's going to hinder him from being victorious against Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Mike Tyson recently spoke about his time training with Terence Crawford, stressing how crucial it is to stay calm ahead of a big fight with Canelo Alvarez. Tyson explained that every fighter feels massive pressure on a stage like this, but the toughest fight is often in the mind. If Crawford can keep his composure and not let the moment overwhelm him, Tyson believes he'll be able to fight at his best and make the victory look much easier.
You know, fighters, pressure, right? Pressure's not being hit. You know, everybody think pressure's like getting on stage. No, pressure's the thought of being hit. And that's how they fall. The thought is going, I'm not hitting that hard, but they think I am.
Right. So you're
all psychological.
Are you, when you're walking to the ring, are you noticing anything, or are you so locked in?
I see everything moving. Every person, every girl.
Dude, your walk-ins would last longer than the fights sometimes.
Do anyone have a napkin on my towels? Because I'm sweating like a pit with one hole up here.
You're sweating.
We will get you one.
You're sweating.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're sweating like Charles Barkley at a spelling bee.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sweating pretty hard there too.
Exactly. So, Mike, we all know you hit hard. Who was the first person that when they hit you was like, oh, okay, this guy hits pretty hard?
Amir Khan, who once faced Canelo Alvarez himself, recognizes just how massive a matchup between Canelo and Terence Crawford would be. He praised Canelo's experience and proven greatness, but also warned that Crawford carries real power and is now stronger than ever as he moves up in weight. Khan believes this isn't a one-sided fight. Both men have the skills to change everything with a single punch. While Canelo has already shown dominance at higher divisions, Khan stressed that Crawford's ability to adapt and rise to every challenge makes this clash extremely tough to call.
He did that to Canelo after, so to your point, can Crawford do the same? Coming up from 54 and 47, can he, or will that, throw off the catch and shoot? I was going to catch and shoot.
Make me think. We're not catching and shoot.
We're catching and resetting and getting out of this range for a minute or two.
My fight with Arrow, I came back to the corner. I had a look on my face, I guess. And my dad said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing." Like, classic Sean, nothing. He said, "Sean, tell me what's wrong." I said, my legs are kind of tight. He said, "Your legs kind of tight." He looked behind him. He would always do this and look back at the other corner. I don't know why. He looked back at them.
It's a habit problem.
He said, "All right, we're not gonna use our legs so much this round." And I was thinking to myself, like, I need these legs.
I'm not trying to wear these shots.
Yeah. So to your point, when there's a feeling,
when the nervous system goes out,
where does that adjustment take place? Do you trust the adjustment? Do you implement it? So that next round I did settle down a little more. I was
lost around.
Whatever. Hell up.
I don't even know where around is. Chill out.
You don't even know where around is. Pour this water on you. So we got some time until this fight. So we ain't gotta pour it all out at one time. We'll work our way up to this one.
Try to get on big guests to lead up to the fight.
Expect some more very, very big guests, and expect some very, very big things from the Puerto Rico podcast the week of Crawford versus Canelo versus Crawford takes place here. What is that? September 6th?
13th. I was just gonna say, I've been critical of the fight because I felt like it serves as a foreground to the Ali Act stuff, and
analysts have raised real concerns about Terence Crawford's age and ability to handle higher weight classes. By the time this fight with Canelo happens, Crawford will be 38, an age where most boxers naturally slow down. Although he recently moved up to 154 pounds to face Israel Madrimov, many still aren't convinced that one fight proves he's ready for a powerhouse like Canelo, who has long ruled the bigger divisions. In boxing, age isn't just a number, it affects speed, reflexes, and recovery, all of which are vital against a pressure fighter. Experts agree that while Crawford's skills are still elite, his body may not react the way it once did. That makes this not only the toughest fight of his career technically, but also the ultimate test of his physical and mental limits.
Successful September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium, when he takes on another first ballot Hall of Famer, 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed world champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford had one fight at 154. That was against Israel Majimov, the WBA junior middleweight world champion, right? And since then, Terence Crawford has moved up now to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez, okay? And so prior to that, he spent 5 years at what? Welterweight. So the concern that people have for Terence Crawford, rightfully so, is that Terence Crawford will be 38 years of age 2 weeks after the fight. So he's 37, okay? Terence Crawford has one fight at 154. Prior to that, Terence Crawford has been competing, okay, since 2018 for the last 7 years at 147. Since June of 2018, he's been fighting at 147. His only fight outside of that division in the last 5 to 6 years was his fight against Israel Majimov at 154, which he won, unanimous decision. I thought he handily won, but people thought that he struggled. Israel Majimov is now 10 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 7 wins by way of knockout because he lost his last fight to Mexican superstar, WBC junior middleweight interim champion, Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Terence Crawford and his team have been stressing one thing throughout camp: preparation. They've studied past mistakes, especially Jermall Charlo's one-sided loss to Canelo, and are determined not to repeat them. Crawford has made it clear, he's not Charlo. His discipline, unique style, and sharp ring IQ give him a different edge. The game plan is built on movement, precision, and smart pacing, rather than trying to match Canelo's raw strength. The strategy is simple: frustrate him with defense and strike back with counters. Training has been intense, with tough conditioning and sparring designed to mirror Canelo's power and relentless pressure.
Team Crawford just revealed that they're currently working on making sure that the Omaha native doesn't end up like Jermall Charlo this coming September 13th when he faces Canelo Alvarez. Now this report comes from Boxing Scene, wherein it was just revealed by somebody from Crawford's camp that Terence Crawford is, quote, wary of repeating the mistake that former 154-pound champion Jermall Charlo made to a new weight limit without consideration of other factors. Boxing Scene further elaborated by saying that Crawford wants to retain his ability to fight with fluidity, maximizing the effectiveness of his power punches from both hands and ability to fight from a southpaw stance. With that said, Crawford's camp is now on full lockdown from the media or any sort of distraction up until fight week. Now, it's definitely worth considering that while it's
Experts have raised concerns about the risks that come with moving up in weight. When a boxer adds size, speed and agility can take a hit. Recent photos of Terence Crawford looking noticeably bigger have fueled the debate, though analysts warn that images can be deceiving because of angles and lighting. Still, the real question lingers: at this stage of his career, can Crawford keep the quickness that has always set him apart? Extra muscle may give him more power, but it can also reduce endurance and limit flexibility.
The human. I mean, the more you age and the more weight you gain, of course you're going to be slower. Now that doesn't mean that he won't be an elite fighter anymore. No, of course not. When you talk about special fighters like Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, they can handle themselves against anyone on any given night in the worst circumstances possible. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get back into the discussion when it comes to Terence Crawford carrying the 168 division, when it comes to the 168 pound weight. So if you actually think about it, Terence Crawford, how is the man looking right now? I know, yes, I know that we have seen the new pictures of Crawford with him looking absolutely massive, but I actually talked about this in one of my previous videos, ladies and gentlemen, which you can go back and check out. Terence Crawford, don't let these pictures fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let these pictures fool you. Yes, of course, Terence Crawford gained weight, but the pictures make it seem like Terence Crawford looks like a heavyweight. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, the lighting and the pump and the angle, everything plays a part in how you look in pictures. You know what I mean? Like, this is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. I can show you 2 pictures of me taken within 24 hours, and in one picture, my physique looks completely different than the other picture. One picture I can take after having a unbelievable workout, with a nice sweat on, with a nice pump, with some nice lighting, and a nice angle. I would look completely different than when I look right now or getting out of bed.